Like, serious. Don't tell me I'm out of time.
I'm getting tired of waiting. What say we just get started,
Fuck, I didn't realize it had a time limit.
It's time for the long-awaited class trial!
Oh, fuck.
Now then, allow me to appoint a proper location for the proceedings. Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
I hope I'm not screwed. The red door on the first floor. That's where I should go. No, where I have to go. Oh, so I have all the evidence. Okay. Man, that was a fast save. I'm just gonna make sure I saved. Okay. Here we go. I figured I'd get to check the laundry room, but I guess. Time. The fuck? I bet you were afraid that you would be discovered as the murderer you are.
Listen to me!
Let's not jump to conclusions yet. Save that for the class trial. There we can all reveal the details of Makoto. You guys are assholes. So they really are convinced I did it, but... Oh, man. I didn't do it. Me and Sayaka both knew that all too well. But then who is the killer? One who murdered Sayaka. Is it really one of us? Has to be.
Is everyone here? Okay then. Please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom, where all your fate will be decided. I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
Let's get started.
What the heck?
Can't help but wonder that whoever killed Sayaka is feeling right now. Well, did you find anything that actually might prove your innocence? So, the school's basement has become dark and stinky. Where we're all buried away. Fuck you guys! Fuck this, I'm leaving. I guess I have no choice but to go on the elevator. Let's begin then.
Yes, indeed.
Good idea.
Hey,
Are you scared? No, scared isn't quite right.
Makoto.
I said it before, but it's up to you to uncover the mystery surrounding this case yourself. If you don't, you can never come to grips with the truth. You need to uncover the truth of Sayaka's death. You need someone else to tell me to do that. Sayaka's murder. I swear I'll find out who the real killer is. As I raised my voice up to try to give myself courage, I turned trembling with anticipation toward the elevator. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. Everyone else was already on the elevator when I finally stepped on it. The doors closed and the elevator started to move. The steel box descended with a heavy clunking sound towards the school's basement. I wonder if this is how a death roll inmate feels when his time has finally come.
Oh,
Rather than that, is it not more like a defendant waiting to receive his judgment? Obvious. To our shared anxiety, the elevator lowered us further and further into the bowels of the school. You finally arrived! What do you think? Doesn't it feel just like a real courtroom? It's like a Hollywood movie set, right? Shit. Not even close, it's total shit.
well now.
Okay. Everyone find your assigned seats and sit down. Hurry up now, hurry up. did what he said. We found our seats. The seats were arranged in a giant circle. They were set up so that everyone could see everyone else, which also meant it would be easy for anyone to transfer their attention and unease onto anyone else. The air seemed to grow heavy as we sat there. And so the curtain on our final case opened. Or our first case opened. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, and a deadly fate. A deadly class trial. Yeah, I'll save again, I guess. Fuck. Oh, now I can set skills. Increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during bullet time. I think that's the only ability I have, so yeah. I mean, I guess that's great that I have an ability for my first trial. Alright. So I got a lot of truth bullets, I remember. So this is the time of death, was 130. There was a struggle. The replica sword was used, and there was gold missing off everything. There were dents in the sword hilt, which is weird. I am not quite sure why that is a thing. We switched rooms. The toolkit was not opened in my room. My room was completely spotless, and the lint roller was used for it. She wrote a number. I still don't know what the number means. What could the number mean? Not dying message. Leon. It was Leon. It was Leon. I know who did it now. Just have to figure out why. I'm ready. I just need to figure out how and why.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course!
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates?
Okay, but
I wonder if
what about that other empty seat?
I wonder if the fashionista has skills. I can only assume that she does, but that means you have to like date her consecutively on the first like 3 days.
There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
That's also a good question.
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people.
That's worrying.
Okay, that about does it
That
for
worries
the
me
preamble.
substantially.
Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary.
Okay.
Now, let the class trial begin!
I know it's Leon, I just need to figure out why. It's about to begin, the debate to decide who we think is the killer is. Anything I've found, anything I've noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me, everyone's lives are in line. Your first non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Yes! As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During the discussion, characters will speak one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradictions buried within their statements. With this, what this means is that you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Any relevant truth bullets that you found during the investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the left stick to aim and then fire with the Y button. Pay close attention to each character's statements and use the truth bullets to blast right through ones. Note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. Press the start button during these arguments and you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. God, this is nerve-wracking.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, that one.
No, it's wrong!
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
You determine what was used to kill Sayaka. I would assume the kitchen knife. Okay. I assume I'll be getting more of these later on that I have to switch.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him. How could anyone
God damn
do
it.
something like that? That son of a bitch!
So what was used to kill her?
I only have 5 minutes to do all
There was
this. This
some
is
kind of
worrisome.
sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder
I
weapon.
wonder if there's a thing that makes
So
these
the
bullets
killer
faster.
used some random knife that...
No, it's wrong.
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Wait, Leon. Leon pushed that onto me. That son of a bitch.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I
He's
don't
trying to
think that's
push
true at all.
Dawn to me because he
I'm
did
sure
it.
if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
Exactly. Okay, what else? Concentrate by holding the right bumper? Or concentrate. Oh. Top of that, it'll stay your aim, making it easier to concentrate like this. Focus gauge, and if gauge empties, you can't concentrate. Okay. Okay, so I have to take this one slowly. I think. IO's a pen. Okay.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon.
Okay.
But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, but you didn't.
Whoops.
No, that's wrong. Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen. Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Yep. Exactly what it was.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. But I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
That's a good question.
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So if the accomplice doesn't do the killing, they die.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Ugh, good grief. Enough already. No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case.
Okay.
Oops. Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife? Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining
That's
hall.
what my original thought was.
No,
but it
no
wasn't.
way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
That's right. Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because,
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
Interesting.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
No.
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms. But it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room. So, I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
But I'm a girl.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, but wait.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Seriously.
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall.
Oh, that's not what
And
I was
then later,
expecting.
she wound up dead.
So wait. So Sayaka picked up the knife.
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual.
So she was planning on murdering.
When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen.
That's the sign
As
of
she
a murderer.
left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely,
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
No.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
Damn it.
What?
See? He did do it after all.
No, you're wrong.
so that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there.
Yeah, Makoto's
You
there.
know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Hangman's Gambit. Okay. Okay. Phrase. Okay. Oh. This seems like it's gonna be confusing. Shoot down letters in the right order. Okay. It's just gonna be a 4-letter word. Yep. Yep.
Now I understand.
So that's gonna get a lot more
That's
complicated.
right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there.
But then why was Sayaka
That makes
still
sense,
around?
does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then, Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
That's what
Do
I...
you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, Then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
They broke the doorknob.
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
Jesus.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh, yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Okay. Numbers of weak spots. Oh, okay. 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 So now there's going to be multiple things I have to look out for. Bathrooms.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
God damn it.
And finally,
Fuck.
the culprit had Sayaka cornered.
I know exactly what
To
it is.
finish the job, they stabbed her with the kitchen knife.
It was you, wasn't it, Makoto? Admit it. We already know the answer.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room.
This one's
She
still
then
pretty
fled
obvious.
into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after
And
her.
Leon is the one.
And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
No, it's wrong.
My room
The
doesn't
reason
have
my
lock.
bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door, that's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
Signs were switched.
Shoot!
Okay, now I'm done. Yeah. Didn't know it actually took. He didn't know it was my room. I didn't read that
The
right.
killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. Except
Then there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
That's a bad
Majority
idea.
rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, you
don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit
Yeah.
get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
They had to have
Maybe
been
Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
No,
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
exactly.
then maybe someone
No,
picked the
that's
lock?
impossible.
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No,
Also possible.
that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Is this it?
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember?
Okay, yeah.
That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
No matter what, do not open the door.
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Yeah,
Huh?
that's what I was wondering.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
Oh, where the hell did you get that? There's something I want to talk to you about. There's the two of us. That's two. 5 minutes. Come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't draw them.
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
That's why I investigated my notepad. Apparently I didn't think about
Which
that.
means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
Who did...
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But
Of course you didn't. Because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's
Sayaka.
signature.
but why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so
God
it wouldn't
damn
have
it.
any effect on me.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay
I'm
attention.
curious, Celeste.